Hey, fishy people. Gonna do a quick tour of the coral flats. Gonna do it quick because it only shows up on camera if I turn the lights really weird style, and my coral doesn't like it all that much. So anyways, you know, that I love coral. Coral's cool. There's a lot of different types, a lot of funky names. I can go over that if people are interested in names. But generally speaking, I keep the easier stuff. The hard stuff is the stuff that looks like skeleton, and I don't keep a whole lot of that. I hope to in the future, but honestly, I like a lot of the beginner stuff. It's real colorful. It's got a lot of movement. You know, things like this frog spawn in the Ophelia family. It's just cool. You know, it moves. It glows. It pops. Mushroom, super easy, not as exciting, or at least not those ones. Some of these red ones are. You know, even green star pops. You know, to those in the industry, this is like a nuisance, but I think it's great. It's got movement. It's super bright. You've got all your A-cans back here. Love the A-cans. You know, of course, you've got to have your anemones and your clownfish with your anemones. Plate corals, some of my favorite. Tons of flow, lots of color. Hard to probably capture on video, but especially with the shadows. Up top, it's like bright green, and you've got crazy yellow lines on this one. Really not easy to get on camera. Goniopora, one of my personal favorites. Not the easiest coral. They're kind of temporary in a lot of people's tanks, but I love these. They look super cool. I love the movement on these guys. Zoom, focus, yeah. I think that's so cool. And normally these are even longer. Again, when I fuss with the lights, it kind of makes everything go weird. Like these guys are normally a lot bigger, but I'm not crazy happy. Of the mushrooms, Recordias, I love these guys. Super bright. Some of my favorites are going to be these guys. Your meat corals or brains or whatever you want to call them. You got Cynarias, Strachiophilias, Walsophilias. Lots of philias, lobophilias, symphilias. I think they're all a lot of fun and really colorful. Not a ton of movement, but you get, like, these guys are semi-transparent, which is just really cool in person. It gives them a lot of depth. Another thing I want to go over real quick is I upgraded all my lighting. These are the Kessel AP700s, my favorite lights. What I have over here with my metal halides. Got another one over here to replace my black box. Got a Kessel 160 for this is what I consider my designer zoanthid tank. Looking a little dirty right now, but these are all the ones with the funky names. You've got what have you got? Scrambled eggs, utter chaos. These are Fruit Loops, cherry pies, blue elephants. No, blue rhinos. Pink zippers, laser lemons. You know, these are all the ones with the funky names. You got Ring of Fire Jokers. These are some of my favorites. Those are the same up top. But anyways, these are all those funky named ones. Did get a big import with a bunch of fish also, so I've got a bunch of fish in quarantine. A whole bunch of fish in this tank. Keeping the lights really low because, again, they're in quarantine. They're kind of freaked out with the medication going and stuff. Yeah, it looks better under blue. You can't see all the algae. Main display tank. Going heavy leathers in this tank. I don't know why, but I'm on a kick of leathers and nepthias and dendronepthias and cynarias. These really soft, kind of tree-like ones that honestly a lot of people don't really get into because they're considered, I don't know, too easy, or they grow too fast, or I don't know, too convenient. But I think they're kind of cool. Flats are definitely filling up. Lots of frog spawn. This all came out of a huge tank, 120-gallon tank. So think 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot, like half the tank was filled with a giant colony. This all came from it. I got more pieces over here. The pieces up here, and one of the pieces over here, and a big piece I sold. That all came out of that tank, which is pretty cool. A different type of plate coral, short tentacle plate coral. Another short tentacle plate coral, super bright. Lots of zoanthids. I love zoanthids. These guys come in every color imaginable. Leptopterus? I always say that one funky. Jason Fox Jack-o'-lantern, that's a real fun piece, super bright. Here's some of the newer stuff. This tank's not as full. And actually, I still have my stingray. There's Fred the stingray over in the corner. I need to find a new home for him. Bright orange hammer corals, big leather, some more zoanthids, like I was talking about. Bubble corals. Bubble corals are really cool. Where's it? You know, they're just, like the name implies, they're big bubbles, but they move. I turned all the flow off so we can see, but they move really cool. And they glow, like they're really bright. I hope this kind of captures it. Colors in video, when compared to coral in real life, it's always weird because you have a lot of UV that throws light back that the camera's not really adept to catching. Really bright Trachyphilia and a really cool Welsophilia here. Again, the brain corals. What else do we got? I got a big Hollywood Stunner chalice or part of one at least. There's the stingray. Here's Fred the stingray. I was hand feeding him some fish and shrimp just a second ago. If you're a fish person, that is not ick on him. That is calcium deposits that he stirred up and have landed on his back. More zoanthids and I don't know, a bunch of little tiny frags. People like tiny frags. For those not in the hobby, frag is just short for fragment, which means you cut up a coral, a big piece of coral, into a small piece of coral, so it's cheaper, and then it'll eventually grow big. So it just makes it easier and cheaper to collect different stuff. Different view of the same side. But anyways, I kind of wanted to go over, you know, some of the coral. What else is going on? This tank, God, this tank's glare is always so bad. Through all the extra discus I had in here, I don't think I'm going to be importing a whole lot more discus. Honestly, just not really a discus crowd type of person, I guess you could say. Some of the politics in the discus hobby are a little bit crazy, and I just do this for fun, and I don't want to get into all that. So, let's see what these, you know, normally these tanks don't look so calm. I've turned all my flow off and stuff, but let's get the flow back going on these tanks. And this is what it typically looks like. Let's try and get some movement going. You know, this is what I think is just so cool. I could spend hours just watching coral move. I think that's so awesome. And then when you throw fish in there and they're moving in and out, and you get shrimp in there and they're moving in and out, and you got your hermit crabs and your snails crawling around, I don't know, it's really cool. I'm sorry if this channel is kind of going from freshwater to saltwater, but what can I say? It's really cool, and I've got a lot of saltwater stuff right now, so the way it's kind of going to go. I do sell this stuff, so I don't ship a whole lot, but if you see something you really want, I will ship. And if you happen to be in the San Francisco Bay Area, specifically the South Bay, definitely, you know, send me a message. I'd love to have you by to come look at stuff. Anyways, hope your take's doing well, and have a good night, you guys. Bye.